Good afternoon. In this session, we would like to share with you what President Yamin's government has over the last 4 years, what we have done on the aspect of human capital development, healthcare services, infrastructure, in housing, environment, and on these areas we would like to share what we have done during these 4 years. With me, we have Minister of Education, Dr. H. Shyam, Minister of Health, Mr. Abdullah Nazim Ibrahim, and Minister of Housing and Infrastructure, Dr. Muhammad Moiz, and myself, Minister for Environment and Energy. My name is Tariq Ibrahim. First of all, I would like to give the floor to Minister of Education, Dr. H. Shyam, to share the what she has to share with you on her sector.
Thank you, Minister. Good evening, everybody. Let me try to present a preview or a snapshot of what has happened over the past years in terms of the provision of educational services in this country. Maldives has outperformed other countries in South Asia region in its education indicators, despite the country's challenges associated with a highly dispersed population scattered across about 200 islands. President Yamin's government has given its highest priority for the provision of quality education. In the last 4 years, the government has spent over Maldivian rupiah 10.3 billion for education. This is on average more than 12% of the total annual public expenditure. Maldives has achieved universal primary education with gender parity at all levels of education. Measures taken to address inequities in the quality of education, especially on narrowing the gap between rural and urban populations through upgrading and expanding educational facilities and training and deployment of more qualified teachers, have produced tangible results. The overarching education policy of the current government, No Child Left Behind, reaffirms the government's commitment in ensuring inclusive quality learning opportunities which caters to the needs of every child to reach their full potential. As such, all children are now guaranteed with 14 years of free education, starting at the age of 4 in pre-primary education through till they complete higher secondary education at age of 18 or 19, which includes 10-year compulsory cycle from grades 1 to 10. At present, there are 214 schools which provide education from pre-primary to higher secondary, out of which 22 are in the capital Male, and 192 schools in the atolls which cater for over 80,000 students. A near 100% net enrollment ratio is maintained for pre-primary and primary, and an above 80% NER is maintained at secondary level. A comprehensive inclusive education policy also ensures and facilitates the education provision for children with disabilities across the nation. Currently, there are special education needs trained teachers in all schools across the country, catering to over more than 2,000 students with special needs. These special needs units cater to children in mainstream schools, but who require additional interventions which are not available in the mainstream setting. Furthermore, in line with the school attendance policy, every school-age child is being identified and tracked, monitoring attendance as well as identifying potential risks of dropout or expulsion. A new value and skill-based curriculum with clearly defined learning outcomes and key competencies has been rolled out from 2015 with the focus on making learning more relevant and preparing students for the 21st century. The new curriculum has introduced a vocational training pathway at secondary level where students can select vocational courses from grade 9 onwards if their aptitudes are inclined towards skill-based learning. Currently, about 47% of children in the secondary level follows some form of technical education. Opportunities for vocational education through the TVET programs, such as work-based apprenticeship programs, supported by virtual learning, has been expanded to reach young men and women all across the archipelago, providing them the skills required for employment. Through the programs, over 6,000 young people have been skilled in various technical fields. Similarly, higher education opportunities have been expanding with the establishment of 2 public universities and through growing number of private higher education institutions both in Male and in the atolls. Under the government initiative to expand tertiary education opportunities, the percentage of students at higher education institutions has now increased from 19% 4 years ago to 32%. The government aims to increase the enrollment to 60% by 2020. Financial schemes in the form of scholarships and student loan schemes support students to pursue training in the fields of their choice in the country and overseas. Over the past 4 years, the government has provided more than 7,000 opportunities for young people to facilitate a more productive, skilled population to drive the economy. Quality education can only be achieved through qualified teachers and through the creation of inclusive and effective learning environments for all. Continuous professional development opportunities are provided to uplift the quality of in-service teachers, and a minimum qualification requirement for all teachers to hold at least a diploma has been set and enforced since 2015. A further target for all teachers to hold at least an undergraduate degree in the profession by 2020 has been set, and teachers are being supported to attain these qualifications. Innovative means for teacher training, such as virtual training, video conferencing, and teacher resource centers are being adapted to overcome the challenges faced by the remoteness of the islands. On average, investments of over MVR 400 million per annum has been made since 2014 to build and upgrade education facilities which are safe, child-friendly, inclusive, and conducive for learning. President Yamin promised a revolutionary change to the education system and services of Maldives, and that is what we are witnessing today. The number of students who sat for GC O-level exams and passed in 5 subjects last year increased to 77%, which was 49% in 2013, an increment of 28%. A groundbreaking education information management system, MIMIS, today facilitates the Ministry of Education towards evidence-based decision-making. Using modern technology to enhance education, the Digital Education Project ensures all schools with connectivity and all students and teachers having access to a tablet computer this year. Let me begin by an introduction of that, and then maybe we can discuss other issues later.
Yeah, thank you, Minister. Now I'd like to give the floor to Minister of Health, Mr. Abdullah Nazim Ibrahim. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Distinguished invited delegates, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good afternoon to you all. I am pleased to have this opportunity to share with you some of the successes the current government have achieved in providing better health for the people of Maldives. Let me also take the pleasure of welcoming you to the Maldives. In fact, the first country in the WHO Southeast Asia region free of lymphatic filariasis to have beaten measles, defeated polio, and conquered malaria. This year, inshallah, our people will celebrate elimination of mother-to-child transmission of HIV and syphilis. Our target to eliminate TB is set for 2020, 8 years ahead of WHO target of 2030. 5 years ago, in the year 2013, His Excellency President Yamin came to presidential election with a holistic agenda: yes, youth, economy, and security. The President's predominantly economic agenda has always kept a focus on health at the core, and he has proven through action that health is indeed wealth. I am referring to strategic, well-thought-out actions resulting in tremendous achievements. Actions that has brought significant changes to the provision of healthcare in the Maldives and to the well-being of our people. For instance, last 4 years, the government expenditure on health has increased to a dramatic 130%. This has led to an average spending of $810 per head per annum, an amount that is double the average spending of upper middle income countries for health. What does this mean? Most importantly, what is the relevance of these figures to the everyday life of our people? If we consider healthcare resources, today, for the first time in the history of Maldives, every inhabited island, irrespective of population size, has a doctor, raising the number of doctors from 16 for each 10,000 population in 2013 to 26 doctors for each 10,000 at present. There are 78 nurses for every 10,000 population now, compared to 64 in 2014. Also, there is an increase in hospital beds close to that of developed countries. Similarly, there has been significant improvement in the access to medicine and ambulance services. As you know, Maldives faces many challenges due to geographical dispersion of the islands. The achievements of this government is that we have been able to overcome this challenge to a large extent by introducing sea ambulance services nationwide and establishment of a government-funded pharmacy in each inhabited island. The commitment of the government to the health has meant that out-of-pocket expenditure has reduced from 49% to 29% in recent 4 years' time. Government-funded health insurance in 2009 covered only 30% of the population. Today, everybody is covered by the government-funded health insurance scheme called Husnua Asanda, introduced by His Excellency President Yamin in the year 2014. The most revolutionary change by far to the health sector will be the 25-story Dharmavant Hospital that I invite you to visit today after this session. With the completion of this megastructure, we aim to expand and elevate healthcare provision to new heights that with the state-of-the-art technology and improved services comparable to international standards. You visited IGMH today. IGMH itself has seen considerable upgrading in the last few years with establishment of a new National Cardiac Center in 2016, Euro-Renal Fertility Center and Oncology Center in 2017, just to mention few. The people do not have to travel abroad for these treatments today as they did before, which is a huge relief to families. A new tertiary hospital will be opened in southernmost island, Addu City, this year, a first again in terms of provision of tertiary level healthcare to the atolls. Also, our very first medical college will be established this year, an action we hope will contribute to the betterment of healthcare services in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, we have tackled access to healthcare very successfully during the last 4 years. Now, His Excellency President Yamin's focus is on the provision of quality healthcare. Maldives is an MDG plus country, now focusing on SDG goals. We have already launched a 10-year health master plan to address emerging health challenges, focusing mainly on quality. His Excellency President Yamin's policies acknowledge that quality healthcare is costly, but poor healthcare costs even more, especially for a rapidly growing economy like Maldives. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Minister. Now I would like to hand over the floor to Dr. Muhammad Moiz, Minister of Housing and Infrastructure. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome you all to the Maldives to experience and to know the real story of the development that's happening in the Maldives. As you have already spent few hours in the capital city, seeing some of the recent developments that has come to the capital city, you would have already started to grasp the level of development that has been seen in the Maldives since the last few years, since President Yamin came to the government. You can see that the people of Maldives are very peace-loving, very content with the state of development that's happening in the country. This government has the philosophy of bringing transformational change in terms of social and economic development. The Maldives is, as you can understand, having a unique geography in which the islands are sparsely, widely scattered across the Indian Ocean, with over 200 islands being inhabited. Several hundred more are uninhabited. So the government has a responsibility of catering for all these nearly 200, exactly it's 187 islands in which people are living. However, this government has taken this task and done an unprecedented level of development projects over the last 4 years. Even now you can see from the information that you get that in each island there's an infrastructure development project being carried out even as we speak. From the sector that I'm looking after, that is mainly dealing with some of the major infrastructure development and housing sector development, I just want to mention a few things regarding this. For example, the safe access to these islands. As you can understand, the Maldives is very vulnerable in terms of the environmental issues, and on that topic, the Environment Minister will be speaking. I just want to mention about the safe access. This government over the last 4 years have developed harbors and safe access in more than 100 islands out of these 187, which completes almost in the next, when we finish all the ongoing access facility development, harbor development projects in the next 4 months, all the islands in the Maldives, all the islands where people are living will have a safe access. That was a target that was set by President Yamin when he came to power in 2013, when he went to meet the people and pledged to the people 4 years ago that he will develop a safe access harbors in all the islands. So that's a major achievement, given the fact that in 2004 the Maldives experienced, among all the other South Asian countries, the effect of the tsunami. Several islands had their harbors been destroyed. And also you can see a lot of road development projects being carried out across the country. And in addition to that, a lot of housing development projects being carried out. I think tomorrow you'll be visiting Hulu Male, which is the artificial island that is being developed, totally reclaimed. This government added more land to that project. Nearly 240 hectares of land has been reclaimed in Hulu Male, and it's been developed as the youth city with lot of housing, lot of opportunities for youth and everyone to enjoy a better living. So this youth city development is one of the major projects that is being carried out. Even now as we speak, I think tomorrow you'll see there are several housing projects that are going on. Several housing projects, and our target is over the next 2 years to complete more than 16,000 housing units. More than 16,000 housing units is a lot of housing units compared to in comparison to the population of the country. The whole population of the country is roughly 370 to 380,000 people, and out of that, roughly 40% live in this Male capital region. So our target is to cater for everyone who needs social housing, medium to high-end housing, everyone in the housing sector, everyone who needs a housing will get a house, or will be provided the opportunity to access housing in the next couple of years. So when these housing units are being developed, roughly 160,000 people will be able to afford affordable housing in Male region and also across the country. Even now, across the country, there are several housing projects that are being carried out. Some have been completed, some are nearly being completed. And these housing units are especially for those areas where people need affordable housing. So lot of housing projects, lot of infrastructure development projects are happening. And one of the iconic infrastructure development project that is ongoing is, as you would have seen already, is the link between Male and Hulle. The bridge construction is fast ongoing, and we aim to complete this project in the next 5 months. So by August, around August, this project will be completed, and it will connect with the youth city. Male will be connected through the international airport to the youth city. So this is one of the dream projects of every Maldivian citizen. So welcome to the Maldives, and I hope you'll be able to spend some more time to experience the real story of Maldives. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Now it's my turn. I'm the Minister for Environment and Energy. I would like to share some of the work that we have done on my mandate. First of all, as you know, water and sanitation, we have 187 islands in the Maldives, and each island has its own, it's it's very dispersed, and all the facilities on every island is it's individual. So water and sewerage sector is of strategic importance and vital for the country's economic and social development. As such, the government recognizes the urgent need to develop the sector and provide safer water supply and adequate sanitation for all in these islands. Water resources in the Maldives are limited, given the shallow freshwater lengths in the islands and the lack of surface fresh water. Additionally, the pressure on groundwater have been increasing, particularly in the urban centers. As you know, we would like to highlight over the last 4 years, when in 2013, before President Yamin assumed office, there were about only 6 islands, including Male. There was proper piped water network systems throughout Maldives. Only 6 islands, which is about 25% of the population had proper piped water networks. But over the last 4 years, we were able to complete new 20 islands. We have completed 20 islands with piped water supply, and there's ongoing 26 islands. Work is being carried out, which we will be completing at the end of this year. So that is the progress that we have achieved on water supply systems, piped water network system on all the islands. We would like to then go on to the sewerage and sanitation systems in the Maldives. Prior to 2013, before the President Yamin assumed office, 31 islands, including Male, had proper sanitation or sewerage system, piped work laid through in Maldives. Only 31 islands. And if you look at now, up to now, we have already completed, during the last 4 years, 20 islands have completed the sewerage systems, and there's ongoing 46 islands ongoing work, which will be completed this year. End of the year, we will be completing. So by end of 2018, we would have actually achieved water system, piped sewage system, or proper sewage system to 75% of the 75% of the population from 31%. Actually, it's 37% of the population. It's so from 37% of the population, we would have achieved 75% of the population with proper sanitation and sewage system. Sewage system. Next, I would like to I would like to talk about the waste management in Maldives, especially in Male and in Maldives. Waste management was an area that was never seriously taken by any of the government. It was a huge issue to the environment, and also it was a health risk to a lot of people living in a lot of islands. So President Yamin's government, this government, when he came to power last 4 years, we were able to achieve a tremendous achievement on the area of waste management. If you look at Male, until last September, that was how waste is carried from homes, from individual flats to the waste management or the yard. That's how the people carry waste open with plastic bags, and now you don't see them. It's already we have banned them, and now the proper waste management systems are used throughout Male. And one of the other areas which we have actually been looking at is the islands. We have, as I said, we have about 186 islands. From the islands and also from Male, we carry with proper landing craft waste from Male city and also from the islands to the regional waste management centers. Waste is carried in proper landing crafts. This we received just a few days ago. It was newly built and brought to Male, and we have started using these landing crafts to take waste from Male to the waste management centers. As you know, previously on the islands, there is no proper waste management or proper waste disposal systems. But now, over the last 4 years, we have been able to do a proper waste management policy. And one of the areas that we are focusing is to have on each island, out of the 176 islands, on each island we will be building island waste management center before the end of this year. So we have already completed several waste management centers, and we will be at the end of this year we'll have on each island a proper waste management center with segregation facilities and composting facilities. Whatever is not composed or whatever is not properly managed on the island itself will be removed from the islands with the use of landing crafts and taken to the regional waste management center, where they have the proper incineration facilities, where it will be incinerated and properly discharged or properly kept on the proper landfills. One of the areas which we have issues at the moment, we had issues in the moment, is the land disposal facility near Male, which is called Tilafushi, and it is usually there we do all this time. The method of disposing is open burning, which was a very big health hazard especially to Male and this region. But we have now been able to, hopefully this year, by mid this year, we will be able to stop burning, and we will be also starting to develop the proper waste management center in this region. I would like to highlight that all this time, all these years, even the medical waste was also not properly discharged or properly disposed. But now we have separate incinerator installed. Over the last 1 year, we have installed for medical waste and hazardous waste as well. So it will be now will be disposed or managed properly with proper incineration facilities. If you and this is what we do in the islands, composing, and each island will have a composting facility where what it can be composed on the island, it will be managed on the island, and we are doing training for this kind of composting. We have already trained up more than 80 persons from different islands already we have trained, and training will still go on. And this is the other equipments and the being delivered to the islands for their waste management centers, like the dustbins. And the next is the energy sector. As you know, we import fuel from to generate electricity, and we have been one of the main targets, or one of the main targets is when President Yamin came to office is to achieve 24-hour universal access to electricity and 24-hour power on all the islands, 7 islands. So that is now achieved. We have sustainable universal access to electricity on all the 187 islands. That was one of the pledges which President Amin has pledged, and we have achieved that. And we have also been increasing the to have more sustainable energy on all the islands. We are now embarking on to provide solar power on most of the islands. So one of the target is to have 30% of daytime requirement of all the islands from renewable energy, and we have started on this. When President Yamin came to office, we had only 2 megawatts of electricity on throughout the nation, throughout the island. But our target now is to have 15 megawatts by end of this year. We have already achieved 6 megawatts, and the rest are being installed. So from 2013, and we have to achieve 15 megawatts at the end of this year. So that's our target, and it's being achieved now. We have already installed additional 6 megawatts already installed and being used. And the other areas that we are working on is to have energy efficiency on all the equipments that is being used, and government is helping all the islands, and also especially on all the households on to achieve energy efficiency. Over the last 4 years, government has distributed 343,700 tube lights, LED tube lights, to all the 175 islands for their road lighting over the last 4 years. So in order to have more efficiency on their road lighting systems. And we have also now, it's distributed almost 493,000 bulbs, LED bulbs to households. Each household will get 5 LED bulbs. It's free. So actually, in order to promote energy efficiency. So this is what has been done on this sector. We are also developing the mini grid systems on every island to make sure it is efficient. These are some of the pictures that we have. It's already this. That over there is one of the biggest solar panel roofs in Maldives, the first one. And the other area which I would like to look into is the coastal protection system. Again, this is a major issue due to the effects of climate change. There's a lot of coastal erosion going on all the 186 islands. So we have to protect these islands. So over the last 4 years, we have been able to protect about actually that figure is wrong. We have been able to protect 30 kilometers of coastal protection on several islands. And this is very much, it's important that if we don't protect these islands, then it will actually inundate at high tides and destroys the infrastructure of the island. So this is what we have been doing. Before, it was not much importance was given to protecting islands, especially the inhabited bigger, large infrastructure islands. It was not done. So over the last 4 years, we have been able to protect 30 kilometers of coastal protection, similar to. So what you see on the first picture is that how the damage or the erosion, and then how this is what we if you look at this is how the island when it's protected looks like. And then some of the environmental conservations areas which I would like to share is that over the last 4 years we were able to protect turtles. All the turtles in Maldivian waters are protected now. All types of rays in Maldivian waters are protected, and we have a biosphere reserve that is very popular, and which you can see all these now protected mammals and fishes, and it's very popular, and this is something that we are very proud of. And on the climate change, as you know, Maldives is a vocal country on the issues of climate change, and we have been the chair of Alliance of Small Island States over the last 4 years, and to the run-up of during the Paris 2015 Paris Agreement during December, the whole year we were working with all the small island states to make sure that all our voices are heard. And what you see in the Paris Agreement is that what most of the issues that the small islands raised, the voice that was raised is well reflected in the Paris Agreement. So Maldives has been very vocal on the issues of climate change, and over the last 2 years we have been again having an initiative called Initiative for Renewable Island Energy, where Maldives is spearheading to help small nations on developing renewable energy projects. So that's where we are, and I think I will I'll stop now and give you the floors for any questions. Thank you. Any questions? Yeah.
There was a plan earlier, which I read long ago, about a package for Maldivians to buy land abroad in Europe, as part of this,
Climate change.
climate change.
Yeah.
So people can plan it early, and they can migrate the land there. Is that a real thing? Or is it
No.
happening? Is there such a fund for that?
No, that was President Nasheed in his during his presidency. It's on one of the conferences he just told that there was no plan, and we don't intend to move. And as you see, Maldives, the way we are doing our infrastructure, when you go to Hurumale tomorrow, and if you go to when you go to the eastern side of Male today in the afternoon, you will see how we are planning, how we are adapting for the effects of climate change. So whatever we do it better, and we do it with the adaptation, keeping in mind the adaptation, how we can adapt to the effects of climate change for the the inundation and also the high swells. So we are doing all this and we are doing a lot of effort. We are making a lot of effort to make sure the islands are protected with rock boulders and other methods. So actually we have no intention to move to another country. We are going to stay, and we will have our own adaptation measures. And we are now building also safer islands with better planned cities. If we will see it tomorrow when you go to Hurumale.
You should plan some land for us.
Sure. Yeah. Any other questions?
there any data you have regarding the infrastructure investment? Which are the countries leading in terms of infrastructure investment in Maldives?
Thank you very much. Actually, the Maldives gets assistance from various organizations for the infrastructure development. For example, one of the main donors is Islamic Development Bank, IDB. We are on the verge of completing one of the harbor development projects funded by IDB across many countries, many islands across the country. Saudi Fund is one of the other main donor agencies for the Maldives. The picture that was shown a while ago with the solar panels fixed in the biggest solar panel roof the minister mentioned is the hospital project in the very south. That is funded by Saudi Fund and co-funded by Saudi Fund and OPIC, OPIC Fund, OFID Fund. OPEC Fund for International Development, OFID. We also get a lot of assistance from ADB. We are about to embark on the largest residential harbor project in any island across the Maldives in the very north, in Kurudufushi Island, funded by ADB, Grant Aid Fund. So there are so many donor agencies, and we get a lot of assistance from the Indian government. And we get a lot of assistance from, we also get assistance from French government. We have completed a lot of harbors with assistance from French aid and also US aid. We have completed some some road projects and so on. And so we get a lot of aid from different agencies and from the different funding agencies. And one of the housing projects that has been recently completed was Exim Finance from Indian government, and also we get some assistance from Exim Finance from the Chinese government. So it's a well mixed. It's a wide range of assistance that the Maldives government get, and also the Japanese government used to give a lot of assistance. The biggest donor when we were in the LCD.
But in terms of, if you take countries, can we say that China is among the top that invested more in infrastructure?
I think a lot of countries are giving a lot of assistance to the government and to the people of Maldives. And we are very thankful for all the friendly countries who give a lot of assistance to us. The Saudi government also give a lot of assistance. A lot of Arab Islamic countries, the Kuwait Fund, and also the UAE are recently giving so much assistance to develop our airport and other infrastructure. So there's so many countries who are helping us a lot for the development.
But among these countries, who is the leading investor?
I think so many countries are giving us so much assistance, and we are ever so thankful for all the countries who are assisting us.
I think if I may, I think like in my sector, the water and sewage systems, if you look at, we take grant assistance and loan assistance is there. So as Minister Moyes said, we have loan assistance from OFID, that is the OPEC fund, and we have loan assistance from Kuwait Fund. We have loan assistance from Islamic Development Bank. We have loan assistance from French Development Fund, and also for the coastal protection systems, we have been getting grant assistance from Climate Fund. We are getting a grant assistance from Netherlands Oreo Fund. So it's not only the Chinese or there's no particular. I think if you look at it, it's overall. If you look at the whole development holistically, it's a mix of. I think all the funds. If you look at in detail, it will be just in general. It will be distributed the same.
Please could you specify these two major projects? The road, the bridge connecting two islands, and the 10,000 family housing project.
I think if you look at the roads, Hulumale, I think Minister Said was telling about that. On the new development, all the roads are being developed by an Indian company. All the roads are, when you go tomorrow, all the
Invest,
uh, uh, yeah, that is by it is by from, and the bridge of course is a Chinese loan and Chinese assistance, but the roads are Indian companies who are doing that at the moment.
housing project.
Housing also, I think similarly, I think if you can.
Yeah, the road project in Hulumale is funded by the Indian Exim Bank. And the housing projects that we have completed so far are a mixture of both Indian and Chinese Exim Bank. And a lot of other development projects are mainly by Indian government aid. For example, the IGMH hospital is one of the main donor assistance projects by the Indian government. And so we have many friendly countries who are very close to the Maldives and helping the people of Maldives in their development journey.
Former President Nasheed accuses several oil drilling projects are approved and it will impact environment. What's your reply?
That's not true. There's I mean,
Maldives
this government.
selling oil to North Korea too.
No, first part of the question is whether this government has given oil drilling projects. No, it is not true. What has been done is for every country, it's for us to see what resources we have. So likewise, we were looking at whether there is the possibility of any hydrocarbons or any fuel is available. So those kind of research has been done, was done in the Maldives, and I'm sure it will be done in the future as well, and the results will be coming. But there's no such permission or such approval given to any other party on this issue of oil.
Is there any research happening on marine hydrocarbons? As you just said,
Yeah.
is there research happening on marine hydrocarbons?
We did
Seabed drilling?
not. Yeah, we did some time ago. Not now.
Do you have the wherewithal, I think the scientific, is there a tie-up with somebody?
I think the scientific results are there. That details still we yet to get the details.
Maldives does not support North Korea, right?
What do you mean?
Nasheed accuses.
Yeah.
North Korea.
North Korea. That's it. North Korea. No.
Thank you for that. I think it's very important. Thank you for being here and clarifying details. I think the government has been very clear with our alignment with UN and other international organizations. The government has been very clear with our stand on a number of these countries. And that has been made very clear numerous times as well. And the commitment of the government and the alignment with the international standards and observations have also been tested time again, and it has been made very clear. And at the same time, I think it's very important for journalists as well as other countries to engage with us and engage with Maldives and make these ideas and these rumors and in these allegations very clear. So the government has made very clear our stand on this. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Must be tired.
Yeah. So since there's no more questions, as Minister of Health Mohammed Nazim has invited you to come and see the new hospital this afternoon. I think we would like to still request you to go and see the hospital, and then also I will have a good view on top, because that's the tallest building in Male, 25 stories. You'll have a good view and see around what's happening whole of Male and Male region. And with that, I would like to thank you, for being here, and hopefully we'll have a good tour today and tomorrow. And once again, thank you very much for coming to Maldives. Thank you.